Picture this: two authoritarian giants, Russia and China, locked in what their leaders call a strategic golden era. A bond forged in defiance of the West, a partnership with no limits. But what if this unshakable alliance is a house of cards, hiding a sinister truth? Today we expose a bombshell, a leaked Russian intelligence document that rips the mask off this so-called friendship, revealing a shadowy war of spies, betrayal, and mistrust. Is this golden era nothing more than a glittering lie? Let's dive into the heart of this deception. President Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping have met over 40 times, touting a partnership that's transformed geopolitics. Russia's survival against Western sanctions after invading Ukraine in 2022? It's thanks to China, its biggest buyer of oil, its supplier of critical tech, from computer chips to military drones. Chinese brands filled the void left by fleeing Western companies. They're even planning to build a moon base together. On the surface, it's a match made in authoritarian heaven. 1.6 billion people, 6,000 nuclear warheads, and a shared disdain for the West. But behind closed doors, Russia's own spies are sounding the alarm. A confidential 8-page document from Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, obtained by the New York Times through the cybercrime group Ares Leaks, reveals a chilling reality. Written by the FSB's secretive 7th Service, a counterintelligence unit targeting Asia, this report, likely from late 2023 or early 2024, brands China as the enemy. Yes, you heard that right. While Putin shakes hands with Xi, his intelligence officers are warning that Beijing is a grave threat to Russian security. 6 Western intelligence agencies have deemed this document authentic, and its contents are explosive. The FSB claims China is aggressively recruiting Russian spies, targeting disaffected scientists, military pilots, and even Wagner mercenaries to steal secrets about Russia's war in Ukraine. Why? Because China's military, untested since 1979, is desperate to learn from Russia's fight against Western-backed forces. Drones, software upgrades, countering NATO weapons. Beijing wants it all. They're even eyeing Russia's expertise in aviation and the scrapped Ukrainoplan warship program, luring experts with cash or promises of opportunity. And it's not just military secrets. The FSB says Chinese agents are hacking WeChat accounts, infiltrating Russian research, and using mining firms and universities as fronts to spy in the Arctic, where melting ice is opening new trade routes. But it gets darker. Russia fears China is laying claim to its territory. Along their 615-mile border, Chinese academics are pushing narratives of ancient Chinese peoples in Russia's Far East, fueling territorial disputes over lands like Vladivostok, annexed by Russia in the 19th century. In 2023, China's official maps gave Russian cities Chinese names, a bold move the FSB calls revanchist. And in Central Asia, once Moscow's domain, China's soft power is creeping in, starting with Uzbekistan. The FSB is scrambling to counter these moves, ordering officers to block Chinese access to archives and restrict foreign researchers, all while keeping this mistrust hidden to preserve the public facade of friendship. This secret war began just before Russia's invasion of Ukraine. 3 days prior, the FSB launched Entente 4, a counterintelligence program to thwart Chinese espionage. The timing was no coincidence. Russia, distracted by its war 4,000 miles from China, feared Beijing would exploit its weakness. And according to the FSB, that's exactly what's happening. Chinese agents are targeting Russian officials, journalists, and business people close to the Kremlin, probing for cracks in Moscow's armor. Yet the FSB treads carefully, warned not to publicly call China an enemy, lest it derail the delicate dance of bilateral relations. So what does this mean? On one hand, this mistrust could be a wedge for the West. US President Donald Trump has vowed to unite Russia and China, and this document suggests deep cracks in their alliance. Suspicion runs both ways. China's polygraphing its agents returning from Russia and eyeing the 20,000 Russian students in its universities as potential recruits. But here's the twist. Putin knows the risks and is doubling down anyway. Why? Because Russia's survival depends on China's oil money and tech. As Alexander Gabuev of the Carnegie Russia-Eurasia Center puts it, Putin believes the Chinese embrace is worth it, despite the dangers. Now let's ask the tough questions. If Russia's own spies see China as the enemy, How long can this charade of a golden era last? And what does this mean for the West, watching two nuclear powers play a dangerous game of trust and betrayal? Are we witnessing the seeds of a new global conflict sown in the shadows of this fragile alliance? One thing is clear: the truth behind Russia and China's partnership is far uglier than the propaganda they peddle.